On this video of Megan Writes a Book, it's going to be a little different. I have like a couple more minutes to myself, and I just need to talk about some feelings because I'm feeling deeply unsatisfied with my life. And that sounds really bad because like I have a loving husband, we got married recently, moved states recently, both of which I'm very happy with. My relationship's great, happy with the decision that we moved, blah, blah, blah. On paper, everything is great. It's like the idea of work that is making me deeply unsatisfied, and I'm going to sound so privileged, so like just to make a couple things clear, like I did not come from a rich family. Working was never not going to happen. Like I've always known I was going to work, and I really bought into the idea of like being a career woman. But as I got into my career, I realized that's just not what made me happy, and in fact, it made me pretty unhappy. So yeah, that's something that I've struggled with over the last couple years. And also, like, I'm so privileged to have a job. I know that, and especially my job, like the people I work with are amazing. My hours are great. It's not a stressful job. It's just I'm unhappy with it. And I think would be unhappy with any 9 to 5. I've bounced around a little. I've explored several different paths, and nothing really like brings me the satisfaction that I'm looking for. And that's why I'm trying to write this book, right? And I'm making this series about me trying to write a book because that's what I want to do for a living. But it's just really hard to grapple with, working a full-time job, coming home and writing, and like all of my free time during the week is writing, and I run out of time to clean, and I only have the weekends with my husband, and I really feel guilty when I'm with my husband, spending the weekends with my husband and not writing because I'm not working towards this goal, and it gets exhausting, and I know that's silly, and I'm not even putting in as much as I could be, but it is hard, and I am just like struggling with the idea that I can't pursue the things that I love without putting it. I mean, I am pursuing it, right? But there are other things that I also want to be doing. Like I love playing video games. I've kind of always wanted to have more of an online presence, which I'm not very good at, but like I'd love to try streaming. I think it would be fun and that I could be okay at it. Not that people would watch, but like potentially that's something I could do. And I want to put time into that, but I can't because I have to pick streaming or writing. And because I have a full-time job, I cannot realistically try both if I want one of them to like actually produce income. Because if I want to actually be a writer, I need to be putting in the effort now and finish a book. And I cannot finish a book and stream because there's not time for both. And I'm just feeling deeply unsatisfied with the idea of working a 9 to 5. And I'm probably going to always have to work a 9 to 5, unless I finish a book and it sells. But still, that feels like an impossibility, and it's at minimum so far away from happening. And I don't know how to balance everything still, even though I'm like clutching onto this idea of me actually writing as me making progress and being good and doing wonderful in life. And for a while it felt like that, but like it's starting to fall apart again in my brain, and the unsatisfaction with like the working life, which sounds so bad. I know that this is never what I wanted, never who I thought I was. But there are just so many other things that I want to do. And I know this is not a unique problem. Like I'm sure almost everybody, or a lot of people at least, feel this way or have felt this way at some time. So if anybody has any advice on how to deal with feeling unsatisfied with working, like I know my dad didn't love his job, but he loved his family, and his job helped him provide for his family, and like that was good enough for him. And I'm not feeling that right now. Maybe if I had a kid, I'd feel differently because like, I need this job to provide for my kid. And like, I need this job to pay rent, but that's also like not super motivating. Motivating enough that I'm not quitting, but it doesn't help with the dissatisfaction. And so if anyone has any tips on how to deal with the dissatisfaction, I would love to hear it. And also, I know this has been long and rambly, and I try to keep it short, but I couldn't. Like, if anyone has experience trying to chase a dream that they actually want while needing to maintain a full-time job and feeling easily like discouraged or struggling with it in any way, just any advice for that too would be great, because I want to write, I do, but I also just want to do other things, and it's hard to come to work all day, come home, write, work all day, come home, write, you know? Because it's like work. And I'm not a work person. I had a job that took up all of my time and all of my stress, and like all of my, I was stressed all the time because of it. It like stayed with me all the time, and I worked sometimes crazy hours and all this stuff. Like I did that and I hated it, and I learned how unhappy that made me. Like I'm not a work person. I'm a want to be with my family person. So doing work is kind of hard, even though the second work is helping me achieve something, maybe eventually. I don't know. I'm just rambling. So no one's going to watch this. If anyone does, would love some advice on how to deal with just general dissatisfaction when it comes to like working and jobs, because I know a lot of people do what they're unhappy with, but like we all need to live, so it is what it is. So like, how do you deal with that? As I'm sure that'll be a constant presence in my life unless I can make it out as a writer, which I just doubt. And two, like how to like stay motivated, and are your dreams motivation enough? And maybe that's where I'm struggling, is my dream motivation enough? I don't know. So yeah, thanks if anyone watched. Thank you. I'll be back on Friday with my regular scheduled content if anyone cares. And yeah, the end.